Sairam, Vini, Vidi, Vici. These were the three terms with which the Roman general and conqueror Julius Caesar described his successful conquests as he wrote a letter to the Roman Senate many centuries ago. The three terms simply mean I came, I saw, I conquered. That was how straightforward his communication was. And those words have become immortalized ever since, and many people have used them in many contexts. Now, these words were used centuries later, in 1968 to be precise, by KM Munshi, Kulapati KM Munshi, an educator, a visionary, a freedom fighter, a patriot, one who is deeply in love with Bharatiya culture, to describe Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, our dear Swami. But he did it in a slightly different context. Writing in the Bhavan's journal, a very popular and famous magazine back then, which has stood the test of time even to this day, back in 1968, it had a circulation of over 50,000 copies on a monthly basis. In that, while writing an article, he described Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba and wrote his own experience as I came, I saw, I was conquered. He did not conquer, but he got conquered by our dear Swami. Now, Kulapati KM Munshi was a strict Gandhian. He was inspired by Mahatma Gandhi. He was in close contact with Mahatma Gandhi, and it is with his inspiration that he founded the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, an education trust in India that was created to promote Bharatiya culture and bring Indian education back to its eternal roots of Sanatana Dharma. Years and centuries of invasions and plunder by foreigners from different lands had degraded the Indian education system, and this is what Kulapati KM Munshi wished to change. And that is how so many schools got established, whether it is the Bharatiya Vidya Mandir, the Bhavans Vidya Mandir, the Bhavans Vidyalaya, and many campuses. In fact, today there are possibly more than 100 such schools across the world imparting Bharatiya culture as the main backbone of education. There are thousands and lakhs of students who have benefited by this system of education, and they swear by it. They say that it may appear not to have all the luxury features like swimming pools and music lessons or horse riding that the advanced and so-called modern schools have, but the eternal wisdom in which we are grounded into in this school is incomparable. They sing glories of the school, and I'm sure that if among you viewers there are anybody who has come from the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan system of education, you will vouch for it in the comment section. So as I said, Shri KM Munshi was a crusader for this kind of education that makes us truly independent. And that is what resonated with even Mahatma Gandhi, because he realized that political independence is just one part of independence. True independence is when we are independent. Well, this was a message that was imprinted deeply in all of us through a magnificent Leela of our dear Swami that I have covered in a separate video about the Independence Day drama, which is at this link above. Now, while Kulapati KM Munshi was very keen about this Bharatiya culture, he kept away from miracle men, god men, or all these people who were having siddhis and powers, because he felt that all these siddhis and powers were possibly distractions for a spiritual sadhaka. At the same time, he was a spiritual sadhaka himself, and he was in search of a guru. And it was this mix of curiosity as well as the need for a guru that made him just casually visit Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. But what is it that happened that made him write, I came, I saw, I was conquered? The logic of the head can never outweigh the experience of the heart. That was what Kulapati KM Munshi experienced in the May of 1968. On the 12th of May 1968, Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba inaugurated Dharmakshetra in Mumbai. This was a new center and it has so aptly been named Dharmakshetra, the field of Dharma. In fact, Dharmakshetra is such a powerful word. It is the first word that comes in the Bhagavad Gita, which begins as Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre. The world is considered as a Dharmakshetra and a Kurukshetra. Kshetra means field. Kurukshetra means a field of action. Kuru means to do. Dharmakshetra means the field of Dharma. And this field of action the world is compared to the field of Dharma. Dharma and Karma are inseparable. We shouldn't separate them. So much deep significance in that name, and it is not surprising that Swami chose that name for his abode, for his ashram, for his center in the city of Bombay, and that is how Dharmakshetra had come into being. A week later, on the 16th, 17th and 18th of May 1968, the first ever World Conference of the Sri Sathya Sai organizations was being held in Bombay. You know, dear brothers and sisters, the world conferences have been held in different parts of the country and different parts of the world as well. I remember very fondly the world conference and symposium that was held even in Rome in the 1980s. So this has been happening, and right now we are on the cusp of the 11th World Conference that is being held as part of the 100th birthday celebrations at Sai Premanilium in California, the United States of America. I am so happy to be part of this world conference, and with Swami's grace I will be attending and participating in it. If you wish to be a part of it too, you can check out this link above where you can register as well. Registration is free, accommodation is fine, food, everything will be taken care of. At this point in time, when people from all across the globe were convening in Bombay, Kulapati KM Munshi too visited Swami. And that is when Swami called him for an interview. And during the course of the interview, Swami came and directly held his right hand. And as Sri Kulapati KM Munshi records and observes, writing in the Bhavan's journal, Swami knows everything. He is the Swami, he is the Antaryami. Now you see, unknown to anybody else, Sri KM Munshi suffered from Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease is a problem that happens with the chemical secretion in the brain, with dopamine not being produced in sufficient quantities, which starts to lead to unsmooth action, very slow reflexes, hand shaking, leg shaking, all of these tremors, all of these begin because of Parkinson's disease. And even to this day, as of 2025, there is no cure for Parkinson's disease. So Kulapati KM Munshi's right hand was shaking. That apart, his fingers were all very stiff. Swami lovingly held his hand and massaged his hand. Then Swami materialized Vibhuti and applied it over all his fingers. After that, Swami again waved his hand and materialized a ring which he put to the little finger of his right hand. All of this Sri KM Munshi records. And then he says, even as Swami did this, instantly, the shaking of the hand stopped. He was simply stunned. How can this happen so suddenly? The fingers also, which had been very rigid for so many months, so many years, became flaccid, became loose, began to move so comfortably. It was stunning. It was stunning. And if we think of it, as I said, even to this day, there is no cure for it. And that was not some temporary phenomena, because at the end of that interview, Swami once again materialized Vibhuti and applied it on the hand and his fingers. That problem never again came near Kulapati KM Munshi. He realized the power of the Vibhuti then and there. Yes, Vibhuti is extremely powerful, dear brothers and sisters, when considered and taken with faith in Swami. In fact, there's a separate video on the power and magnificence of Vibhuti. In case you have not watched it, you can have a look at it at this link above. Now, when this happened, Kulapati KM Munshi was just bowled over. His heart was telling him so strongly that this is not an ordinary being. This is Jagat Guru, this is Sat Guru, this is Guru Nam Guru. And that was the moment when Kulapati bowed down his head to the Jagatpati. Yes, dear brothers and sisters, Swami, he says, Sri KM Munshi, definitely cured him of Parkinsons, also created and gave him a ring. But the greatest gift that he gave him was the gift of a guru that he had been in search of all his life. After that, Swami also visited the home of Sri KM Munshi. He blessed all the family members. He spoke to his son. He spoke to others. He comforted them. He revealed so many things about their lives, the hardships that they had gone through, the sacrifices that they had made, and all the disappointments and frustrations that they had faced. And he gave them reassurance and comfort and strength that all of that will change. None of that is in vain, and they will all start yielding fruits of wonderful joy and peace. And that is how the whole family became devotees of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. In fact, so bowled over was Sri KM Munshiji that he requested Swami to hold the world conference on the campus of the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. Yes, the Warsaw campus, which is very close to Dharmakshetra in Andheri. Over there, the world conference was held, and Sri KM Munshi was present for all the 3 days of the conference, and it was Swami's magnanimity and love and his grace on this devotee of his to agree to hold it at this venue. The world conference was very successfully conducted, after which Swami, in the month of June, towards the end of June, left for his only international trip to East Africa, to Kenya, to Uganda, to Tanzania. It was a memorable visit, and we shall probably cover that in another video. Parts of it has already been covered in this video that is linked above. You can have a look. So Swami traveled there, and when he came back, there was a grand reception held for Swami at Dharmakshetra in Mumbai, in Bombay. It was known as Bombay back then. And that was also attended by Kulapati KM Munshi. He shared a common stage with Swami, and on that day he opened up his heart, sharing to everyone who had gathered there the transformation that he had undergone. He said that his heart would always bleed and he would feel very sad, thinking that there was no hope for Bharatiya culture because every day the practice of this culture is going down. The practice of dharma is going down. The practice of this eternal religion is going down. Yes, the practice is going down. As Swami says, dharma never declines. The Bharatiya culture never declines. The practice of it declines. Seeing this practice declining, he said, my heart would bleed. I would feel very sad. But today, I have tears of joy in my heart, for Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba is here, and I know that Bharatiya culture is safe, dharma is safe, religion is safe. The devotion and faith that people have in God will be safe. Swami is the savior. In his own words, he says, when I look at Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba and the transformation that he is effecting in the hearts of millions, I feel so heartened and joyous. He got the chance to witness the greatest miracle of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, the transformation of the heart. Dear brothers and sisters, Kulapati KM Munshi is not the first heart to bleed for the lack of practice of the Bharatiya culture. In the past, there have been many others. Swami Amritananda is one example that comes to mind. Even to him, Swami assured him, Swami said, don't worry. In fact, he had kept some money as well for resurrecting the Bharatiya culture. Swami said, no need of any of that. I have come, you don't worry. You know, that story of Swami Amritananda is another beautiful one, which is at this link above. You can have a look at it. So many others have been reassured by Swami that Bharatiya culture is in safe hands. Don't worry, Dharma is in safe hands. That is a reason for all of us to celebrate as well, dear brothers and sisters, because when we decide to follow Dharma, Dharma will take care of us. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha, dharma eva hato hanti. Those who destroy Dharma will be destroyed by Dharma. Those who protect Dharma will be protected by Dharma. Our dear Swami is here as the Dharma Rakshaka, as the Dharma Sanstapana doer, the one who is establishing this Dharma. All we need is to follow the Dharma and enjoy the rich rewards of peace, contentment and joy. Dear Swami, may the love that we have for you in our hearts keep growing stronger every passing moment, and may every breath we take be for you. May every word we speak be for you. May every action that we do enhance and sing your glory. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.